Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the gas station. And no, this is not doing a vlog. You know, I tried to do those vlogs from here. Some people liked them, some people didn't. The problem is I didn't particularly, it didn't develop into a thing that I really enjoyed doing. I mean, I liked it, but at the same time, it became a problem figuring out what to do and to try to keep it fresh and everything. And like I said, this channel, I like making, a couple hundred extra bucks a month off this channel, but I don't do this just for the money. So it's something I didn't enjoy doing every night or worrying about trying to do every night. So I'm not going to be doing that kind. This is not going to be a vlog. I just happen to be sitting here. Uh, yeah, I can't. I've said before, I can't commit to doing, 2 videos a day and live streams on these days. I got too many things going on in my life that I can't make plans like that. Who knows what I'm liable to do? Anyway, this is the 15th of November, and it's chilly. It's winter's here. Rain. We had some snow today. It's crazy. And you know what? It's very cold, and we are very cold. I was talking to Gail about this. You know why we're so cold? Why it feels so cold? We never had time to acclimate to cooler temperatures. It was 70 degrees one day and 40 the next, and it's not hit 40 since. So, and without having a fall or without having a spring for that matter, the body doesn't get a chance to get used to the cooler weather. Now, 40 degrees today, I'm freezing my butt off. In March, 40 degrees will be like wearing t-shirts and shorts because we will have gone through the winter of very cold, so 40 degrees will feel nice. The body has to have an opportunity to acclimate to temperature changes. We don't get to do that anymore. It goes from hot to cold and cold to hot. So there's a little science for you. What else is happening? I'm trying this on a new phone. I got internet at the off-grid cabin now. I got fiber optics, baby. The only way to go. And by signing up for this stuff, whatever, I got a free phone. And by signing up during this special, I get a free phone now, and then when our contract with Verizon's up, I could get another phone for $29 a month. So, our bill will go from about $140 a month to maybe $60 a month. I like that. I'm all for that. But yeah, you should have seen. I'm going to go out tomorrow, and I'll shoot some video showing you what they had to go through to get it to the cabin. Because I don't have electric poles out there. My power comes from solar panels. So they weren't happy to see that. But I think, it has something to do with the infrastructure bill or something, that all rural addresses have to have access to high-speed internet. That doesn't mean everybody gets it. It just means you have to have the ability to get it if you want. Because Spectrum's been out in Guernsey County just everywhere installing fiber optic. So I'm happy about it. I like having it. I never for a second thought, I'm thinking, man, I hate to do it, but I might have to go this Starlink route, Elon Musk thing. But no, I like this way better. What else is happening? I got a Ring camera set up because I got the internet now. I don't have to have a DVR out there and just recording and then looking back at cameras. Looking back at videos on the DVR. Now I can just, right on my phone, I see what's going on out at the property, out at the cabin. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to show you a clip right now from the one I put up Sunday. I put one up to see how they worked. So watch this. All right, so that was pretty cool. With, the sound is good, the pictures, I like everything about it. So Sunday I set that up. Yesterday, this was Tuesday. Yesterday I went to Best Buy and bought 2 more of the cameras. And I'm going out in the morning to set them up in different locations so we can just on our phone see everything's happening out at St. Bernard Acres. That's pretty cool. What else going on? I mean, I still have other cameras that record to DVR because I don't, I just like the extra security, but also like being able just at any time. I got a notice on my phone today that there was somebody at my gate. They were burying the cable, the fiber optic cable that they had to run along the ground. They were out there, a dig crew was out there burying it today. And it picked that up and let me watch it. I'm like, right on. Let's see, what else is happening? A lot of you, this is the main thing I wanted to talk about in this video. This is a chance to talk about being prepared. And part of St. Bernard Acres is I mean, it's right now it's bug out location. It's, part of my prepping. And we all should be doing that. And a lot of the people that follow me also follow Preppernurse1. Now, I don't know if you got to see his video yesterday, his major emergency at the homestead, but there are a couple of lessons we can learn from his video, what happened, and things to do in case that happens to us and we don't wind up in the situation he wound up in. That's the important thing. And I made a couple of comments on his video. I can't believe, he did that happen, that he wasn't, I don't think he was prepared for it. Let me put it that way. He's got state-of-the-art solar. I mean, it's to die for. His batteries cost more than my cabin and solar system that I have right now. Just his batteries alone cost more than that. So, and it works flawlessly. He's had it up since, I think he said April. Never had a hiccup with it. And I understand what happens, you get complacent. You start, you quit thinking about that kind of stuff because you've never had a problem with it. It finishing up projects involving that kind of like drop down in priority as you've got other things you have to do. So I know entirely how that works. I'm not faulting that for 1 second, the fact that the battery room wasn't, all the seals cracked, that kind of stuff. I don't fault that. The problem with those kind of batteries, they are sensitive to temperatures. And when it gets cold, you have to be careful with them. And once it gets to a certain temperature, they just quit working. Take that, plus the fact that for 4 days in a row around here, we had no sun. It was rain and cloudy and overcast for 4 straight days. So there was a lot more coming out of his batteries than going into it. And then once the temperature dropped to a certain level, it just shut down, which is a safety feature. So it shut down, and he got his generator out. Fired up the generator. Well, it wouldn't run. It would start and sputter and then die out. So he had no electric. He couldn't charge the batteries with the generator. He couldn't use the generator for his camper. He spent the night in the cold in the camper. And he said yesterday morning when he woke up, it was 36 inside the camper. Right? So, to me, that's an unprepared prepper. That's why I don't have any choice but to look at it. And I mentioned my generators, I start up every month, and I run them for about 30 minutes. I haven't needed them for a long time, but I start them up, I run them for a half hour or so, I check the oil, I make sure everything's good in them. I have 3 of them. 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2. So I have 3. But I have the house here in Wheeling, plus I have the cabin out there. So I know when I fire up my generator, it's going to work. Now I have propane heat out there. Now I think he's using propane in the camper. And maybe his without electric, it doesn't work. Mine's the Duraflame or Mr. Heater thing on the wall that doesn't use electricity or anything. But should something happen to that, I have my Mr. Heater Big Buddy heater with a couple of 25-pound or 20-pound propane tanks out there. That'll last for days, running one of those Mr. Heaters on low. And I got a little cabin. Once I break the chill, I have that. Plus I have, the round kerosene heaters. I've got one of those out there with extra wicks and about probably 40 or 50 gallons of kerosene. Because kerosene will last forever. Take a 5-gallon jug of kerosene, put a little bit of alcohol in it, and it'll last a long time. And I've got several jugs. When I walk through the barn, there's one area you can see where the kerosene heaters are, and you see all the blue jugs. That's all kerosene in the blue jugs. So I have my heat source of the heater in the cabin. If that goes down, I have my Mr. Buddy heater. If that goes down, I have my kerosene heat. And 50 gallons of kerosene in that cabin will last, I can go 2 or 3 weeks and not have to worry about anything. And that's another thing, you put that thing on low because, that's 18,000 BTUs worth of heat in that little cabin. So I can see that. You turn it on and, you have to turn it off and wait. I've got it really insulated well, so it'll hold the heat well. I'm not worried about it. But, there's 2 different types of backups for the main heat in the cabin. And that's the kind of stuff you got to think about, and you have to, they say you have to practice with your preps. I mean, it's like with your mag stuff, you got to practice. So that's what I mean by running the generators, making sure they're ready to go. If I need them, boom, they're ready to go. I've got a solar generator that will run my cabin for the weekend. We'll take care of the lights. We'll take care of the refrigerator just off that solar generator that I could charge up if my battery bank failed. I wouldn't even have to use the generator. If if worst came to worst, I have that. So, the more you have, the better off and the more comfortable you can feel. Now, he said he spent the night in that camper bundled up. And I'm sure it's 36 degrees, man. I camped with the Boy Scouts in cold weather. I know what that's like. It sucks when you have no heat. But I'm telling you one thing, I guarantee you I would have done in that situation. And I don't know why he didn't think about it. But I'd have sure enough grabbed me a pillow and some blankets and went to my truck and started that truck and ran the heat in the truck. I'd have had some heat till I could get things fixed the next day. Sorry, had a customer show up. Had to go out and deal with that. I'm telling you, when it's cold, and we got the only full service gas station in town. Some people they'll pay the extra money to where they won't get out. They don't have to get out of their vehicles. And what's really bad about it, I go out there and pump it for them, and they're sitting in their car with their window rolled down like that, talking about how cold it is. Well, I'm out there freezing my butt off, and they don't even give you a tip. Some do, but I had somebody come up last night to the full service island and get $4 worth of gas. $4, $3.84 a gallon at the full service. They paid me to pump it. No tip. And we have the only place in town also that has an air hose that is free. You don't have to pay to use it or anything like that. They'll come in as soon as the weather starts turning cold. The lights come on, low pressure, low tire pressure. Damn, more customers. I tell you, this sucks having to work for a living. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I'd have been in that truck where I could have started that vehicle and I'd have had heat until I got that thing fixed. I'd have lived in my truck. I mean, I got my van. If I was out at the cabin and something happened and I couldn't have any heat in the cabin, I'd be in that van because I keep it full of gas. So it'll run for a long time just sitting there idling. And that's another thing. You can start it up, let it warm up. Now, it's going to lose heat real quick. But it still is nice to be able to start it, let it run, and heat the place up. Warm up your blankets and everything, and then turn it off. Go to sleep for, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. Start it, Anyway, those are some lessons. I mean, watching that video made me think about that and the fact that, you need all of these backups for your backups. It's very important, because you just don't know what's going to happen when. So the better off, that you have different sources for your needs. Because if one thing doesn't work, another thing might work. And, I bought my generators. One of them I bought used, in really good shape. I got a heck of a deal on it. Changed the spark plug, changed the oil. It only had a few hours on it. Boom, it's like a new generator. And that I keep, I built that power shed. The battery bank's going to go in there, and the generator's going to go in there. It's all going to plug into the cabin, so, everything's out of the weather. Now, speaking of my battery bank versus Ed's battery bank, everybody laughed at me and made fun of me for my $100 Walmart deep cycle batteries. And I'll tell you what, this is the third winter. They've sat outside behind the cabin in a metal box. No insulation, no heat, nothing like that. And they still continue to work exactly how I need them to work. So, I can't afford those nice LiFePO 4 whatever batteries they are and blah, 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 blah. But they're so sensitive to temperature and everything. These Walmart batteries, I bought 6 of them for $600. If they last for 3 years, that's great. I'll spend another $600 and buy 6 more. They do what I need it to do. I can do that. I don't know, Ed said he paid about $6,000 for his. I'm spending $600 for mine. If I can spend $600 every 3 years, I'll get 30 years for that $6,000. Do the math, folks. Laugh at me for buying my $100 Walmart batteries. If I could, I would get the better ones. I know I would. But, got to do what you can do. Anyway, stay prepping, folks. Glad I got to talk to y'all again. Remember to like, share, comment, blah, blah, blah. All those things you still got to do. And I'll shoot some video for you tomorrow out at St. Bernard Acres. But this is Joe here in the gas station. Got more customers pulling out. I'm out.